Let me tell y'all something real quick. You ever see somebody take their pain, flip it, and turn it into the loudest victory lap the internet's ever seen? That's exactly what Melody Shari just did. The internet didn't just react, it exploded. After years of watching her rise, fall, and rebuild on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Melody just stepped out with her own show, her own production, her own rules, her own power. And baby, when I say it's packed with drama, betrayal, and boss moves, I mean it's the kind of reality TV storm that makes you stop scrolling mid-swipe. This isn't just another spin-off. This is a declaration. Melody didn't just break the internet, she broke free. Now, people who thought they had her story figured out are realizing they never knew the half of it. She went from being dragged through public heartbreak to becoming the woman calling all the shots. And her new show? It's got everybody talking. From the cast tension to the behind-the-scenes shade, fans are calling it the comeback of the decade. But before we dive into all that chaos, let's rewind, because to understand how Melody got here, you gotta understand what she survived to even make it this far. Long before this massive new show lit up timelines, Melody Shari was already a name fans knew and felt. When she first stepped onto Love and Marriage, Huntsville, she was the picture of black excellence, a wife, mother, entrepreneur, and visionary who wanted to build empires, not drama. But the reality TV spotlight has a way of showing the cracks behind the smiles. What started as a show about love and partnership slowly turned into a public unraveling of her marriage, her friendships, and the image people thought they knew. Her marriage to Holt was once the heartbeat of the series. They looked like the perfect power couple, business partners and parents who could conquer anything together. But behind closed doors, things were falling apart. The betrayals, the lies, the infidelity, it all played out on screen for the world to see. Every episode felt like another layer of her pain being pulled back. Fans watched as she tried to hold her home together while dealing with humiliation and gossip. It wasn't just entertainment, it was real life, raw and painful. And through it all, Melody carried herself with strength. Even when Martell's mistakes became public, even when former friends turned distant, she stayed focused on protecting her peace. But that peace came at a price. The woman who once believed in partnership had to rebuild herself from the ground up. And that's when everything started to shift. She stopped letting others write her story and decided to pick up the pen herself. Leaving the show wasn't easy. It meant walking away from the platform that made her a household name. But Melody knew that if she wanted to truly grow, she couldn't do it under someone else's control. That's when she launched Tilted Crown Productions, her own company, her own lane. And baby, that move right there? That was the start of her empire. Now fast forward to this year. When Melody announced her new reality series, her own show, the internet went wild. The title alone had people shook. It was bold, fierce, and dripping with purpose. Fans instantly knew this wasn't going to be a soft reintroduction, this was a statement. The show dives deep into the world of women hustling to build businesses, raise families, and protect their legacies, all while navigating betrayal, competition, and success. But here's where things get even juicier. The show's cast isn't your typical lineup of reality stars chasing clout. These are real women, daycare owners, entrepreneurs, single mothers, each with their own story of survival and sacrifice. And just like Melody, they've got something to prove. The first trailer dropped, and instantly, social media caught fire. Clips of heated arguments, emotional confessions, and unexpected alliances had fans dissecting every frame. In one scene, two cast members nearly come to blows after one accuses the other of stealing clients behind her back. In another, a business partner breaks down in tears after realizing her best friend has been leaking her personal business to bloggers. It's raw. It's messy. It's exactly what viewers have been craving: reality with heart and high stakes. And let's be real, part of the reason this show is trending so hard is because of who's behind it. Melody's not just starring, she's producing. She owns the footage, the storyline, and the vision. Every camera angle, every edit, every soundbite runs through her team. She's no longer the talent waiting on a call sheet, she's the boss sending the calls. That kind of control? That's rare in reality TV, especially for a black woman. And fans see it. They feel it. But you know what comes with success noise. The minute Melody's show started trending, the shades started flying. Some say certain folks from Love and Marriage, Huntsville weren't too happy about her move. Word around the streets is that producers from her old network were caught off guard. They didn't expect her to launch something this major without their stamp on it. But Melody's silence through it all? That's the power move. No clapbacks, no subliminals, no posts aimed at her past, just business. And then there's Martell. Phew. Let's just say his timing's been interesting. As Melody's new project took over social media, his Instagram suddenly filled with cryptic messages about letting go and appreciating what you had. Fans didn't need a translator. They knew exactly who he was talking about. Some even say his posts felt like a mix of regret and ego, the classic "I didn't think she'd actually move on without me" energy. But here's the twist: Melody's not looking back. Not one bit. She's too busy working on expansion deals, brand partnerships, and even talks of another show under Tilted Crown. Sources close to her say that what people are seeing right now is just the beginning. She's got multiple projects lined up, including a docuseries focused on women rebuilding their lives after divorce and betrayal. Behind the scenes, her new show has already become the talk of the industry. There's been explosive drama on set, arguments so intense that production had to pause filming multiple times. One cast member reportedly stormed off after a fight over business ownership. Another refused to film after learning a producer leaked part of her storyline. And you know Melody, she didn't hide any of it. Cameras kept rolling. Because that's what makes great television: real emotions, real conflict, real redemption. What nobody expected, though, was just how much Melody's personal story would reflect in the cast's journeys. Every woman on the show represents a piece of her resilience, ambition, heartbreak, and rebirth. Fans have already started calling it the show for every woman who's ever been counted out. And when you think about it, that's exactly what Melody stands for. But it's not just drama. There are powerful moments too. Moments that make you stop and feel something. One cast member opens up about sleeping in her daycare center with her kids because she couldn't afford rent. Another shares how she was once told she'd never be taken seriously because of her accent. These moments hit hard because they're real. And Melody made sure they stayed that way. No filters. No fake storylines. Just truth. Meanwhile, social media can't stop talking about how strategic this move was. Fans are calling Melody the Tyler Perry of reality TV. Think about it, she went from being part of someone else's franchise to building her own production house. And she's doing it with grace and quiet power. Even the rollout of the show was iconic. Instead of a flashy Hollywood premiere, she hosted an empowerment summit called Cartel Code Live. Women flew in from across the country dressed in pastel power suits, ready to connect and celebrate. The event mixed business workshops with panel discussions and live screenings. It wasn't just about entertainment, it was about education, ownership, and empowerment. And the response? Massive. Tickets sold out in under 48 hours. Now, some insiders claim that certain executives from her old network tried to reach out, maybe to collaborate or get distribution rights. But Melody's camp is reportedly being careful. They know their worth. They know the leverage. She's in control of something the network underestimated: her influence. And that's the beauty of her story. Every time someone tried to box her in, she built her own lane. Every time someone counted her out, she came back louder. This new show isn't just TV, it's her redemption story playing out on her own terms. But behind every glow-up, there's a quiet storm. And for Melody, that storm was learning how to trust again, not just people, but herself. After years of heartbreak and public scrutiny, she had to rediscover who she was outside of the chaos. Friends say she spent months focusing on her kids, her businesses, and her healing. No flashy moves, no PR stunts, just real growth. And when she came back, she didn't return to prove anyone wrong. She came back to prove herself right. That's why this new era feels different. She's not performing for validation. She's creating for purpose. Fans see it in her confidence, in the way she speaks, in the way she moves. You can tell she's at peace with where she's headed. That's the glow people can't fake, the kind that comes from knowing you took control of your story. And what's wild is how much her evolution has inspired others. Online, women are calling her a blueprint, proof that you can go through public humiliation, rebuild your name, and still come out stronger. She turned every painful chapter into a stepping stone. As the first episodes of her new show air, it's clear this is more than entertainment. It's a message. A reminder that you can't keep a real one down. The same people who laughed at her downfall are now watching her rise. And this time, she's not just in front of the camera, she is the camera, the director, and the narrative. Every piece of this new melody screams independence. She's rewriting what it means to bounce back. Not with bitterness, but with brilliance. Not with revenge, but with results. The internet might be calling it a comeback, but really, this is a continuation, the next chapter in a story of a woman who refused to fold. And if you've been paying attention, you already know Shari isn't just back. She's building something bigger than TV, bigger than fame. She's building legacy. So when people say Melody broke the internet, they're not exaggerating. She broke barriers. She broke cycles. She broke free. And that's the kind of story the world doesn't just watch, it remembers. And here's the truth, Melody's story is far from over. This moment right here? It's just the start of something legendary. She's showing the world that no amount of betrayal or heartbreak can stop purpose. Every challenge she faced became fuel for the empire she's now building. Her new show isn't just trending, it's shifting culture. It's giving women the courage to take back control, to bet on themselves, and to believe that pain can lead to power. As the credits roll on this chapter, one thing is crystal clear: Shari didn't just rise again, she transformed. She turned every wound into wisdom, every loss into leadership, and every rumor into motivation. The internet might have broken when she dropped her new show, but what she really broke was every limit placed on her name. This is her era, bold, unbothered, and unstoppable. And trust me, this is only the beginning.